Hello everybody, it's me, the Hero Teacher, and in this video we're going to talk about how I personally became fluent in English. Well, there is something that we all have to know. Becoming fluent in a given language does not happen overnight. It requires time, dedication, hard work, motivation, and all that stuff. So do not think you're going to work hard for a week and you'll be very fluent in English, French, German, Spanish, etc. So you have to really work hard for a given period of time, probably like 6 months, 1 year, even more than that. That's why sometimes people actually lose their motivation before they get the fluency point. It is important to know that once you work really hard, things are becoming really good. Before I begin telling you my story on how I became fluent in English, I'd like to know about you and how you became fluent in English. You can easily share your story in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Well, let's get started. My story goes back to my childhood. When I was a child, I used to play a lot of games. And all those games were primarily in English. And I didn't understand what I was playing, but the sound of the language was so attractive to me that I used to repeat what I thought the character was saying. Obviously, it was completely incorrect, but I just loved it. I just loved pretending that I spoke English. And everybody around me, my teachers, my parents, fancy my way of speaking English, although it was not correct at all. They didn't understand it, but they just liked that I was trying. And here everything started, because I think that if I didn't fall in love with that language, I wouldn't be able to continue learning it when I came to the capital city. Well, then what happened was that I got acceptance from university in the capital city and I moved here. Because bigger cities have more opportunities to learn a language, to find a job, I immediately enrolled a course that could teach me English. But again, my background was filled with that love towards this language. Therefore, studying English, learning from a teacher was something sent from the heavens for me. Like, I was spending a lot of time, I showed great motivation, and I was trying to, pass my peers in learning the language, thanks to that love I carried since my childhood. In addition to that, during my university years, especially the first year, learning English, studying English was my escape from the city life. I was honestly feeling alone. I didn't have any friends and relatives, anybody. So I was all alone in this big city, and studying English, reading those texts in English, listening to those recordings in English was my escape from that life. And it kept me even more motivated to come back my studies time after time after time. And that was the reason why I spent around 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours on studying English. Obviously, my studies didn't only include reading books or listening to concentrated recording. I was watching my favorite games in English, so I was practicing my listening skills. However, I didn't do it in a way that could kind of like bore me out. So I was trying to avoid boring ways of studying. I was listening to things that I enjoyed. I was watching things that I enjoyed. I was reading things that I enjoyed. So it didn't feel like a study. It felt like some sort of free time activity. And it kept me, again, more motivated to learn, again, more and more and more. At the next stage, I tried to find myself an international friend, because English was the only language that I could communicate a foreigner. I was a shy person. When I was 17 years old, I was very shy. I couldn't talk to anybody. I was very silent and quiet at university. I didn't even talk to my classmates. So I thought English could help me find an international friend, and I could overcome my shyness, if I put it that way. On one of the social media websites that I was using at the time, I met a girl from Ukraine who was studying English and French literature at the time at university, and she was much better than I was in English. She used to ask me various questions on various topics such as travel, family, computers, hobbies, future plans, childhood, I don't know, accommodation, lots of questions that I could answer, and this in return made my English more and more fluent. And I remember it was at that time that I think I broke the language barrier in English, because when you start learning language, especially English, at first you feel like you can't communicate in this language because it's really difficult putting all those words together, making sentences, and eventually expressing your mind. And because I was feeling quite comfortable and confident with that girl from Ukraine, I started making sentences without even thinking whether or not they were grammatically correct. So this was how I trained my mind, or how my mind was automatically trained to make sentences without thinking. I was around elementary level, but I was gaining fluency even in that low level. So this is completely possible and happened to me. It's obviously going to happen to you too. After talking to that girl, I thought now I was ready to take up more challenges, and I started looking for conversation clubs where there were more people so that I could speak up in a crowd. That was a milestone in my story. Like, first time in my life, I went to a place where there were probably like up to 10 or even more than 10 people all speaking English. The shy guy I was, but who broke that language barrier, I tried to speak up. I tried to speak up my mind. I tried my best to somehow catch up with them. And I did really well. I mean, the teacher praised me, praised my English, praised my fluency, and that boosted my motivation. I was feeling amazing. I was feeling so accomplished because I studied English with a teacher only for 4 months. Then all I did was self-study, talking to foreigners, reading books, listening to different recordings, even writing some grammar rules myself, and obviously attending conversation clubs. And that was a great achievement for me at the time. I was around like 18, if I'm not mistaken, and I felt like, gosh, I know English. I can speak my mind in English, and that was brilliant. Before I continue my story, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe to this channel, because it helps me grow and reach out to more people. And I really would love to help as many people as possible out there, because I know some people actually suffer from lack of motivation, but their English is quite good. So thank you very much for your support to this channel and to me. Well, after attending conversation clubs and after realizing that yes, I could do it, because I was around like elementary pre-intermediate level, like A2, B1, I made a decision that changed my entire life. And that decision made me a teacher, and that decision changed my whole career. I, at the time, decided to teach private classes. Obviously, my English was not that strong. It was around pre-intermediate. And I thought, if I started teaching English, that would give me 2 benefits. The first one would be I was going to make some money. And that was going to help me help my dad financially, because at the time, my sister also was studying at university. So my dad had to pay her expenses and my expenses. So I was going to help my dad, help my family financially at the age of 18. So the very thought of doing it was just amazing. But the second benefit was obviously bigger than the first one. It was going to push me to my limits to learn more. So I had to be better than the people that I was teaching. So I thought these 2 benefits could help me a lot. First, I was going to make some money here and there. Second, I was going to learn English even faster and better. So I started announcing it to everybody around me. So obviously my friends and relatives were not in the capital city, but I asked my dad, asked my mom, asked everybody that I knew to tell their friends, their relatives that I was teaching, I was giving private classes for learning English. And well, I had my first student. She was a distant relative, but she was giving me some money, and I was pushing myself because I had to teach her things that she didn't know before. And I was getting better at teaching, and I was getting better at English. So this was brilliant. Like, I was making money. I was making money off something that I enjoyed a lot, and I was making money off a process that was making me better. So it was not just a win-win situation, it was a win-win-win-win-win situation. And I enjoyed it so much, and I thought, why not to continue this trend? Why not to continue giving private classes? And that decision I made almost 11 years ago has changed my entire life. Here I am, after 11 years of continuous learning and teaching. I'm quite confident in English. My IELTS score is 8.5, which is C2. And I also got Cambridge CELTA Pass B certificate in teaching, alongside a range of certifications, both in language proficiency and teaching. Well, the reason why I've told you my story is because I just wanted to show you that it's all about hard work, it's all about motivation. Nothing can stop you. With or without a teacher, if you are determined, you're gonna eventually make it. You'll speak brilliant English. I mean, I'm not a native speaker, that's very obvious, isn't it? But my English is quite competitive. I have never felt bad about my English, and my English has never let me down, because in interviews, at the projects that I worked, everybody praised my English. Everybody, even native speakers that I worked with, I learned from, have praised my English. And this isn't for nothing. I mean, like, they probably saw something in my English, and they praise my English. And I know it's not humble, I know it's not like how would I say, what I have to tell you, but this is what is going to happen to you if you keep working hard. It's not going to happen over a week, it's not going to happen over a month, but it will eventually happen to you if you keep working hard. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.